Welcome to part 4 of episode 48.
8
of Child Road Rowdy, right here on YouTube. And we're going to start with the 5 reasons why WWE should have an off season, as we're down to number 1. When?
Fans will have something to look forward to.
I don't think so.
I think they might. It's called out of sight, out of mind. It might actually make them forget.
Yes, that's true.
Just saying.
Maybe they'll forget how bad some things were before they took the break.
Fans are the most important asset to WWE. Fans pay for tickets.
Money.
Fans watch the shows. Fans give their opinions online about the shows for WWE to see. If there's one thing unique about pro wrestling, it is the feeling of having a match to look forward to or to see a storyline unfold in a sensible manner. If fans are not excited about something, they have no reason to watch the shows.
Nope.
And off-season is crucial for that time usage because the superstars will be out of the ring and the creative team will have more breathing room to come up with great on-air and off-air concepts. After these 5 reasons, do you think an off-season would be good? Go to bed.
No. You don't just shut up your company for 3 or 4 months. You don't gain anything. You lose money, which that's your life force, money. Money. But like you talked about earlier, which I do agree, give off certain people off certain times.
Yes.
Break it up. That means one guy go to lead the pack while another guy's taking a break. He comes back, the other guy goes away. He may not go off. He just may drop down. Another one may go off and come back. I mean, you just have these interchanging pieces.
Yep.
And hell, as far as that goes, go with the writing crew. Have enough people and say, you've done it long enough. We're going to let you take a break to rest your mind. You with fresh ideas, you take over.
Amen. Because that would be a great idea. Because
yes, I know, you get burned. You have to get burned out over and over. Because you see sometimes
if these wrestlers talk about, like CM Punk talk about getting burned out, then the writers have to get burned out.
And then you write all this stuff. Okay, I wrote all this. It looks great. I like the way it starts to finish. It writes a good story. Here, Vince, oh, this sucks.
Right.
Start over. Oh, Raw starts in an hour. I need the first couple of matches.
Right.
And I know that's got to be hard on them. But they need some wrestling minds also in there as well.
Amen.
But taking off time, like you said, would be a golden opportunity for everybody.
Yep. I mean, you're saying don't take the whole company out of business type
company down.
I mean, because then if you only have the network to depend on, you ain't gonna make much money. No. But the thing is, if you have a Daniel Bryan who takes 3 months off while someone else is in his spot, and then that person takes 3 months off while he comes back, you may cut down on injuries because they have time to rest while they're not injured, and it actually may help the business.
And you do this between after WrestleMania till the end of the year.
Yes, the end of the year, there you go.
You do that like that. Then when you start back at Royal Rumble, people who's been off for vacation, boom, they reintroduced at Royal Rumble. Exactly. And you build towards your road to WrestleMania.
Boom.
And then after that, boom, you go in. I mean, it's everybody. You can miss. Okay, I'm going to take off. I'm going to miss SummerSlam this year. You are going to main event. You're going to be the main piece of the pie and main event SummerSlam.
Because it could let those undercard people finally move up.
Yes.
If you do that. And then they come back. They might drop back down. And then they come back up. And blah, blah, blah. There you go.
So, what I feel, and I think we're on the same wavelength here.
We are.
Is that giving the wrestlers time off at different parts during the year is better than giving the whole company, a time off.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they were talking, the main thing we're talking like after WrestleMania till the 1st of September, you can't kill your next biggest pay-per-view. You cannot do that. And you can't see if you go, well, we got to come back a month early. We come back at the 1st of August or the end of July and build for SummerSlam. Well, that don't give much time off then.
Nope.
Now your time is shorter.
Yep.
So giving wrestlers time off is a lot better ideal than
the whole company.
Amen. Because your competitors will go, hey, wow, let's really do some stuff when they're off.
Exactly. Because those indie companies and those smaller companies that are not considered indie, they will have that opportunity to capitalize on that because there won't be that product on television.
That's right.
And that will hurt the product.
Yes.
But that is our 5 topics about an off season,
Yes.
and we're finally done with that. And now, the one time thing we're going to be talking about today is where has the lost art of managers gone?
I know, like there's like no one ever trying to be a manager again.
Right. They got in the performance center. They got people trained to be cameramen, to be commentators,
Referees.
to be referees, to be announcers, and to be wrestlers. Why not managers?
I know.
Why
No
make that a big
managers.
deal?
No managers. No valets. Hey,
Seriously.
you suck as a wrestler, but you got a body that I like. You can be a valet for this guy.
Boom.
Eye candy. Hey, we may not like the guy, but we like what he's got with him.
Right.
We're gonna pay more attention to them.
Or
Maria, Matt Bennett. Hello.
there you go. Or you got the idea of when a wrestler's not very good in the ring, but he's great on the mic. Make him a manager.
Yeah.
I mean, think about a guy like
Everybody. Sorry, I missed up on you, but everybody can't be a Paul Heyman guy.
That's true.
You suck at talking, but Paul Heyman's great at it. We're gonna stick you with him.
Right. Can't
Oh
all
yeah.
do that.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I missed up on
But
you.
you can't. You got a guy like Bobby the Brain Heenan. He was a little bit of a wrestler. He wrestled a little bit in his early days, but he found his niche calling as a manager, and then later on as a commentator. You know, he had different realms of his business. You know, you've got different people like that, and you need more people like that. You have Sherry Martel. She was a women's wrestler and also a valet. You had Freddie Blassie,
Yep.
a wrestler, later on a great manager.
J.J. Dillon.
J.J. Dillon was a wrestler, became a manager.
Yes.
Zeb Coulter, back in the day, Dutch Mantell was his name, and he was a wrestler at one time.
Yes.
He became a manager. You've got someone like Paul Bearer, who in his early days, he dabbled in wrestling and then became a manager. And then you've got the classic people that were managers that were not wrestlers, but they did the classic thing of being in the wrestling matches
Yes.
and being a little, like afraid or whatever. You had people like Jim Cornette.
Of course.
I mean, who can forget dangling from the scaffold?
Yes.
Scared of heights, I blew out his knees. And then you got Paul Heyman, a great wrestling mind, but he did not have to get in the ring and wrestle. But if he
He did. I mean, with Jim Cornette, but
Right.
it's not with no people. But
right,
But you have to use it as to get to people. Okay, this guy, your manager keeps costing me these matches. I'm gonna get a match with him if I have to go through y'all.
right.
And usually that's what happens.
Yes, you have the whole, I'm going to fight you. If I beat you, I get 5 minutes with your manager.
Yes.
That's a perfect way to use a manager. I mean, take a manager hostage, okay? Well, your wrestler needs the manager, so hey, I've got him hostage. If you give me that title shot, I'll let your manager go. Things of that nature.
A manager has this guy. Okay, you're ready to turn this guy face. Well, the manager, they have a breakup.
Right.
The manager costs the guy. He becomes a face, or he becomes or a face joins a manager and becomes a heel.
Exactly.
I mean,
Because when that manager can turn on that heel wrestler and he becomes a face, you automatically have a new feud because now you have that heel manager searching for his next big client to beat his former client.
Right.
Boom. There it is. You don't have that kind of stuff now.
no.
Now, if Paul Heyman just gets rid of a guy, they just don't talk about it. He just don't show up there
He's
anymore.
done it, yes.
And then Zeb Coulter, of course, he's been out with a surgery or whatever, and that's hey, neither here nor there.
So is him and Jack Swagger together? Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
No clue.
Yeah, they quit talking about him.
So-
You got someone like Lana, Miss Elizabeth, who use their looks to say, hey, look at my guy, and sometimes get the attention off the guy sometimes. But at the same time, a manager has to be so good that you pay attention to the wrestler. Yes, you see them and they are entertaining. And I think that's what Vince is afraid of because of guys like Bobby the Brain Heenan and Jim Cornette, those type guys.
Jimmy Hart.
And Jimmy Hart even, yes, Jimmy Hart, of course. That they were so entertaining that sometimes that's what you came to see was the manager. But here's the thing, that's good. You come to see the manager get beat up by the face, so you're getting the face put over.
Yes.
Okay? It's not all about just one wrestler versus another wrestler. You have different dynamics to it. You've got to add those things in there. It's like a marriage. If you don't have all the aspects to it, it's not going to work.
Nope, you're right.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
And hopefully, Hunter will get back into that.
I mean, you don't have to have like they did in the '80s, where they had 20 managers. They had the Slicks, and they had the Harvey Whipplemans, and they had the Mr. Fuji's, and they had the Paul Bearers, and they had the Bobby Brain Heenans and Sherry Martel. All these people at the same time. Okay, but all you have right now is Zeb Coulter, Lana, and Paul Heyman. That's it.
That is it.
You can have at least 5 managers for a product they have right now. 5 managers. They only had one manager down at NXT. I mean, they got Carmella with them as a valet, but
she's a wrestler.
But she's also a wrestler too. But you had, was it the Mechanics had a manager, or it was one of the wrestlers that was also being a manager?
Yeah, Sylvester LaForte.
LaForte, yes. See, but he's a wrestler,
and he's disappeared. I haven't seen him in weeks.
There you go.
So,
but he was managing. I mean, but they've really got. If they're going to use the Performance Center to give us cameramen, guess what? That doesn't matter to us. No. You give us cameramen, you give us announcers, you give us commentators, you give us wrestlers, you give us people that can put the ring together, you give us referees. Guess what? You need the whole kit and caboodle to make the whole thing.
Because you're telling me on the indie scene, there's not a manager out there who would not love a job with the WWE?
Right. And I know there's some managers out there. We asked on our Facebook, we asked who your favorite manager was, and one of the big names on the indies was the voice Justin Michaels out of New Heights Wrestling and other various promotions.
Yes, so.
And he does very well. He's a very entertaining person. I mean, they call him the voice. He has a great voice for the business. But you got those type places. Go through the country and find these unpolished people, these diamonds in the rough,
right,
and make them that bling bling on the ring thing.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
They got everything down there for wrestlers to learn to do a promo. Why not a manager?
Right, a manager can go in on green screen, and he could go in and do this and that and the other. He could be the one doing talking and stuff and learn all that. Yes, a wrestler, it'd be great to learn to talk, but some people, we've seen in history, are great wrestlers. But hey, look at people like
never talk.
Exactly. What time? What these type people like Maven was not the best talker in the world. I mean, he was okay, but he wasn't the best.
Right.
You've got all these different. Brock Lesnar's not the best talker.
That's why he's got Paul.
And we with this one person nobody wants to talk about. Chris Benoit was not a good talker at all. Great wrestler. There's all kinds of people that you just put them with a mouthpiece and everything works out.
Yeah, it does.
It's crazy.
So hopefully in the future, managers will make a comeback to wrestling. Because everybody has to be a wrestler.
Right.
Sorry, it doesn't. I'm glad you want to be a wrestler, but things may happen, and you can't be a wrestler.
Right.
But you are smart enough to be a manager.
Exactly. I mean, you just have to have a good mind for it. You have to have a good mind to know where your spots are.
And get heat from fans, which...
Exactly. I mean, you think about someone like Bobby the Brain Heenan. Somebody chanted weasel, just one chant of a weasel chant, and he would just turn his head ever so slightly, and the crowd would go crazy. Mm-hmm. Just those little bitty things is all that it counts. And you have that manager, that great manager, next to that wrestler that you really want to get over. That's called a rub, and that manager can get that wrestler over.
Because I was saying, I would think Jimmy Hart. I know he's old and up in age, but he still could come back and be a vital piece of a puzzle for some people who can't get over.
Absolutely.
Do you not think the Hart Foundation coming back, a new Hart Foundation with Jimmy Hart as the manager of a group of guys would not get over today? Please. Better than the New Day.
That's true. Or he called his group in WCW the First Family.
And since we already have a Neidhart, part of a little group, why not Jimmy Hart be the manager of Tyson Kidd and Cesaro?
That would be interesting. I mean, there's all kinds of different things. I mean,
there's ways to do it. I don't know why they don't.
Harvey Whippleman works backstage too.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. Well, that is it for part 4, people. Up next is a special little part. We have Jeb Savage. He is back. He hooked up his interview. He got all the pieces put together.
All the pieces together. That's right.
So when you get done with this part, click over to Jeb Savage's part. You will be highly entertained, I guarantee you that. Well, that's it for this week. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm Justin Cotto.
And we'll see you next week at Top Row Rowdy on the YouTube. as we get one step closer to our 1 year anniversary.
Next week, episode 49.
49. It's amazing.